Climate change is one of our greatest challenges.
There's no longer a debate on the truthfulness of climate change.
Climate crisis is indeed a cause for concern for us.
In the midst of this global pandemic, I thought for a while that the global concern on climate change has been sidelined, if not totally forgotten.
This last year has been difficult for everyone. As the world looks forward to recovery from COVID, we are focusing tonight on the most important question facing humanity. What can we do in this year in our regions to help solve climate change while supporting struggling communities that have faced widespread loss of life, economic disaster, and joblessness? Welcome to the Solve Climate Global Dialogues. You're participating in one of 125 events held across the planet, part of a global project called Solve Climate by 2030.
I welcome the Solve Climate by 2030 Global Dialogue on Climate Solutions organized by the Center for Environmental Policy at Bard College, together with the UP Open University and more than 100 universities and schools from around 50 countries, because it brings back once again the issue of climate change within the radar of pressing global concerns.
One of the problems of climate change is that sometimes it's difficult to see the effects because it's in the maybe future or near future. At the same time, CO2 is invisible, so we don't directly see it. That's why I think art is really a good way to, visualize this or make this perceivable to people.
As we always say, the best years to plant tree is 50 years ago, and the second best time is now.
When we polluted the earth, it didn't take much coordination to pollute the planet, no? We were not thinking of how would I pollute the entire planet, diba? So you were just thinking about disposing or discarding your waste. Same thing if we do it in reverse. If we do our own initiatives, our own strategies, then in improving the health of this planet, I think the impact will also be the same. If humans have the ability to destroy, we also have the ability to heal and create.
I think for us to overcome it, we need collaboration from different perspectives, from diverse backgrounds, I think.
A Kalinga elder once said, "Such arrogance to say you own the land when in fact the land owns you. For how can you own that which outlives you?"
It is in the forest where we will rely for our basic needs. And more than ever, it is during these pandemic times that many people are most dependent to the help of the forest.
One principle of permaculture design is small and slow solutions.
I would argue that the arts is a powerful way to change the mindset of people, to convince, to communicate, and lead to behavior change.
Some plant conservation advocates believe that if there's one good thing this pandemic has brought us, it's the unprecedented increase in the appreciation of the beauty and importance of plants to people.
Permaculture is not limited to agricultural applications. Identify nyo man ang objective nyo, why will you start a permaculture design? So if it is not food growing or food production, there must be something else.
However, with the proliferation of plantitos and plantitas all over the country, plant poachers have never been as active as before. This plant craze and plant pandemic should be seen by the forest regulators as an opportunity for the legitimate plant collectors to earn a living.
A fine example of indigenous knowledge in agriculture is the practice of rice terracing among highland indigenous peoples. Maximizing production in limited and hostile mountain conditions, indigenous peoples like the Ifugaos of the Philippine Cordilleras developed an intricate knowledge system that sustained their communities for hundreds of years without causing irreparable damage to their natural environment.
So one thing that you can do in the city is harvesting rainwater. So rainwater collection, not for drinking, pang flush ng CR nyo, pang linis ng garahe nyo, pang dilig, marami siyang applications. And once na na-set up nyo yung rainwater catchment nyo, makikita nyo na hindi siya mauubos kasi lagi siyang nare-refill ng ulan.
At the national level, our government should put the same prioritization to forest protection in the same way that NGP has been and is still being treated as the greatest hope of the Philippine forest.
I want to challenge institutions, organizations, and even the academe to create more space for interdisciplinary collaborations, to find more ways for artists and other creatives to participate in your projects, which doesn't always mean to hire new artists, designers, etc., but simply to bring forth the artists within you, in your workplace, and inject creativity in your projects.
We consider community participation as the key to the success of any biodiversity conservation or forest protection strategies. No?
Land is life, so is water and air. We're all just passing through, but with the responsibility of passing it down to the next generation, preferably in a better state than when it was passed down to us.
Mindsets, our worldviews, paradigms are very important in changing systems. When you target behaviors through these mindsets, through these paradigms, susunod na yung system. So when we talk about it, when we communicate about it and do actions about it, it's very possible to solve this problem. No?
As we have learned today, we don't have to be environmentalists to help solve the climate crisis. We just simply have to care.
Time is short. We have until 2030, 10 years to solve climate. We can get a lot done in this decade. We have the solutions, but only if we focus the world on climate solutions and justice, and then do the work we have to do in our own cities and regions. There's hope for the future. For students listening, you are the leaders. Would you ask all your teachers this week in every subject to make climate a class